This is Practical Prince. We're doing Talk and Tarot again, so let me go ahead and share that caption so people know to ask their questions. And I do still need to set up the camera, so let me go ahead and get that underway. But you can go ahead and drop your questions in, and we'll just do it as many as we can today. Sorry we didn't have Wednesday, but today we can run a little long, so hopefully that helps to make up for it. And of course, you guys can reach out to me on the social media if that's ever a concern, just timing and whatnot. And I'll get to it as I can. Okay. And now. Let's see. Oh, we might need to mute for a bit. We'll see. Because we only want microphone. Okay. And now we hack the URL just a little. For some reason, this is necessary to get the camera working. Okay, so that is. Oh, but we want it looking at cards, not at us. There we go. Okay. And now, finicky part of setting it up so that it looks at cards. Okay. Looks decent. All right, so whenever you're ready, drop your questions in. I'll go ahead and give my cards some shuffles since it's been a while. But yeah, hopefully people are having a good holiday or something, getting ready for the weekend. I guess we can go ahead and camera. Hey, Julia. It's been a while. How have you been? Hope the holiday was good for you. Okay, that's probably good enough for that. Hope it's going okay. It's alright if it's a long question or needs to be worked. We can do that together. Back. Okay. And one more take. Okay. All caught up there. And yeah. Because I don't shuffle those. So I guess we can hide the mat for a bit. I could try monologuing, I guess, but it's not my favorite way to kill the time. So, if you guys have questions, that's my if not. mean, I was being quiet, so that was okay. Because, yeah, I think these might be the 3 cards, but I think this is a tempered pair. And usually, if we had a third, we'd probably ignore the back one, but it looks like we'll be using all 3 for the yes, no. And then I'm trying to get a sense of the detail, okay? It's probably a little more accurate to do there. Okay. So our yes, no is going to come from the 3 cards. They all provide some information, but I don't know that there's overwhelming detail in the cards themselves. This is a tempered pair, so this will modify this one. 9 of Pentacles, that's looking good. 10 of Chalices, also good. 3 of Wands. I'll double check that one, but I'm pretty sure these are all yeses. So that would be a solid yes on being able to find a place. Because, yeah, that wand isn't any of the exceptions. And then, yeah, the others are good. So, yes, pretty strong yes. As far as what else we've got, 10 of Chalices is unity and harmony with others. 3 of Wands indicates that it needs some work to keep it going. And again, these were light details, so don't know that you need to worry too much about this. Oh, it's hard again? Maybe my voice is just low. Let me get a little more water, see if that might raise it up a bit. But yeah, when I'm muttering to myself about the cards, I don't really expect people to follow along too much. No problem. I'll double check the 9 of Pentacles. But yeah, like I said, the main answer, the yes, no you were looking for, that's a yes. So these are light details. 8, 9. Reward, luxuries, financial independence. After sacrificing and devoting yourself to a single purpose, your dedication has paid off. So, yeah, I mean, it's somewhat similar. It is sort of past tense. The sacrifice has already been made, whereas you might still be putting in the work, but yeah. Yeah. It feels more like maintenance, similar to the 3 of Wands, keeping it going. So hopefully that helps. Charlie, yeah. Go ahead and ask your question, or if you just wanted a general reading, let me know. I'll go ahead and clean up these cards. Okay. Highlight that in case you need to reference it. Okay. Yeah. We're doing Cosmic. You got them all? Yeah. Okay. see what all comes. And then if I can get a sense of specifics, I'll let you know. Which one? Early morning for me. So, sorry about that. He's probably going to get some more. Okay. This way. Where do we start? Figure out placement afterwards. Do we have a pair there? I think we do. I'll see if there's more to it. Let's find our cards first. Anything down here? Yeah, I'm just going to have to rearrange cards. Okay. Do we have anything else? I think we might be good. Let me check. Okay. All right, now for order. Because you were more over here. And you were out there. So then anything over here. Okay. Left to right. But are these distinct, or is this... Okay. Kind of a blurry line on that path. You could lean more into one or the other. And then you... Yeah, I mean, that's further down the road, so I don't know if that's something you need to prepare for, but... Okay. So we've got two paths. These aren't distinct, though. You could see events from both sides happening. But if you lean more into one or the other, I imagine you could miss stuff. Like if you see this and you lean onto this side, I don't know that you would see these things happen. So, and then I'll have to flip that, but I'm guessing that's something they want to give you a heads up about. So, Ace of Birds, good for mental clarity. Life map. I'll need to double check. I think that might be Wheel of Fortune. This deck uses different names. Life on Earth would normally be the world, for example. And then we've got this pair of the Composer and Nine of Trees. This would normally be Pentacles. This would normally be Swords. And then out there, Seven of Embers, which would normally be Wands. So, yeah. Yeah. And let me go ahead, because this guy will have its own skew on things. But yeah, as far as... because we do have a rough sense of time on the timeline. I think we'll just zigzag a little. So starting with the Ace of Birds. Breakthrough, clarity, sharp mind. You have climbed to the peak of Wise Mountain, and as you gaze into the valley below, an instantaneous lucidity washes over you. This is a powerful card to pull in a reading. It is the ace of the mind and symbolizes a great breakthrough and honing mental clarity. If it hasn't happened yet, this breakthrough is soon to come. Wise Mountain asks only for patience and trust, and the truth will guide you. Oh, sorry about that. Let me make sure you can, yeah, still here. Okay. So yeah, mental clarity. I don't know if there's something in specific that would be towards. I could see that being work or, I guess, hobby. I don't know how else you would describe study for free. So, but yeah, that assumes you've got some intention and focus going there, which, like I said, you could be leaning into this or not. So let's go find life path or life map, sorry. And yeah, this is normally the Wheel of Fortune. Cycles, free will, fate. When you pull life map in a reading, it is to alert you to a larger cycle of experience and understanding. What is happening now will shape your future. There are moments in life where you will be victorious and moments where you will fail. If things are feeling tough right now, know that you will learn from these lessons and come out stronger than before. Life is full of ups and downs. While some parts of fate are inevitable, there still is free will. If things are not going the way you had hoped, then make a change. Hey, Rada, doing good. So, yeah. With this one, there's a certain amount of intention. This one is almost more just something that happens to you. So I feel like this might be our default route if you don't have a particular aim guiding you down here. Okay, will do. And of course, you could end up seeing both of these. But yeah, that will give you an idea of what's coming. So let's do the Nine of Trees and the Composer. That's a pair speaking to the same thing. Sophistication, stability, luxury. The Grand Palace is a visual representation of the sophistication, stability, and luxury that comes with hard work. When this card appears, it is a symbol of great wealth approaching. Whatever you have been diligently working towards is about to transform into physical reward. Pamper yourself. Enjoy the finer things in life. There's nothing wrong with imbibing in your prosperity. The challenge here is to not let the material aspects of success swallow you completely. Stay humble and remember that things were not always this way, which seems natural follow to the Ace of Birds, but let's get the Composer as well. There we are. So this would normally be the Page of Chalices. Playful, harmonious, energetic. The Composer is a card of great synchronicity. Much like the Three of Lotuses, this card speaks directly to the inner harmony in all things, but here you are taking part in its oneness, generating a conscious stream of harmony. When you pull this card in a reading, it can be a strong sign that things are well aligned for you, and that much of this is because of your own doing. Enjoy the fruits of your great synchronicity. Be energetic and playful, and nurture the harmony of your world. Feed your life with the things that make it sing and dance. Yeah, I mean, this seems a very natural follow-up to the Ace of Birds and the effort being put in there. So, okay. Will do, kind of, Priya. So, that seems to make sense. And this did seem to be the more, well, effort, I guess. More active and intentional. Life on Earth. Let's find out what happens down this route. And again, these weren't exclusive. I just don't know how blurry that line is. Fulfillment, harmony, completion. Life on Earth has existed on this planet for billions of years, and you are here witnessing it. When you see this card in a reading, take it as a wonderful sign. It asks nothing of you but appreciation. Breathe in the air, feel it in your lungs, and exhale back into the universe. You are alive, and that is enough. So yeah, continuing with the life map, this really doesn't ask anything of you. It's just something you experience, really. I mean, with the life map, it even calls out that you have some choice in the matter if you want to change things. Life on Earth is really just reminding you that it's all going to be good. It's going to work out in the end. And then let's get Seven of Embers. This is further down the road. So you've definitely got time. Self-preservation, defensive, okay, Dr. Priya, maintaining control. The self-preservation of the Book of the... Oh, that's a little off. Let me pull that in a bit. Yes, you may. Go ahead and ask your question. I just keep track in the chat. The self-preservation of the Book of the Phoenix is a uniquely surreal thing. It has existed long before time, and through its defenses will likely persevere unscathed through many challenging times to come. If this card shows itself in a reading, it is time to use your wits to protect and defend yourself. You may be surrounded by conflicting opinions and external forces trying to bring you down, but remember that you have all the resources you need to persevere. So, challenging times ahead. Again, that's farther future. I don't know how far, probably years, but yeah. It doesn't really indicate you need to prepare, but that might make it easier. So, just a heads up there. No problem, Charlie. Glad it was helpful. Okay. Will do, Dr. Priya. Radha is next, just so you guys know, and then Kanyu Priya, and then Dr. Priya. So that's the order right now. Let me go ahead and clean this up. Angel message guidance. That's going to be Cosmo as well. So we'll give this some good shuffles. Okay. And we're still good. Okay. The sound has just been finicky, so. Message for okay, so we've got a time frame as well. Okay. Okay. And we're focusing on improvement. I might suggest more reliable means of determining, but yeah, we can try it. I would not rely on it for something that important. There might be more to that. I'll find out. So what's going on? So we're just wanting both. Okay, well, so we've got one thing. We're doubling up on this. So there's the normal upright, which is going to be applicable, but then we're also going to have the skew meaning applicable as well. So that's just where it's offset, slightly different from the upright meaning. And we'll just have to flip and figure out once we get into it. So you got the same 7 of Embers. So that's self-preservation, being able to defend yourself. Obviously, you've got a shorter time frame compared to Charlie. Let me see if I can figure out the skew, though. So, I mean, upright, that's being defensive, keeping yourself safe. So I don't know if that's protecting your time, protecting your energy. All of that is valid. Let me see if I can get a sense of what the skew version is. I know we just read it, but I wasn't reading it with that intention, so. Yeah, for the skew version, what's standing out is the surrounded by conflicting opinions and external forces. In the upright, it goes on to say trying to bring you down. But really, I think the emphasis is just that clutter, that noise going on. Not all of it's going to be directed at you. So it may just be, I don't know, a rough environment, so to speak. Yeah. So I don't know if there's a way to get yourself some distance or um, yeah, just to insulate you from what's around you. I mean, you'll want to do that anyways for your own sake, but um, it's just a heavier emphasis, I guess, on that surrounding noise and conflict. So, yeah. Yeah, so normally 7 of Wands. Um, I don't have a pendulum. Embers is Wands. You're right on that. Not Pentacles. So, all good? And it might be your time you need to be defensive of as well. I know it can get hectic with a lot of demands. So, just want to make sure we're good there. No problem. And then Tashona. I don't have a pendulum. I do have a yes-no spread that I'll probably use. Just so you know. Okay. We've got Kanye Priya. Will they reach out to reconcile? And you've got them in mind. That's fine. You too. Hope you were able to celebrate as well. And we're looking for when to reconcile. I mean, you're combining a couple different things, so I'm not too surprised if we can't really get a sense of date. But I mean, lately it's been pretty good about saying, hey, if it's not the case, it'll indicate something else. Is this more personal? Yeah, this feels more Prisma. So. Right. I'm sure the timing is. But yeah, I'll just read and try to find out. Specifics on date tend to be difficult for me, but I don't know. I've had some where it's a matter of days or a couple of weeks, so we'll see if I can get specifics on that. Sometimes it's just they need to choose. So. Okay. That's better. Right. Yeah. And then down here. Okay. I feel like there's more to that one. I think we might be good. Let me check. So this is going to speak to your question. Yeah, we're just going to have inspiration help with that. Now, this isn't necessarily to the question, it's really just to you. So just putting that off to the side. I treat those kind of like DMs. So reversed 7 of Wands, 5 of Chalices. And then let me go ahead and Empress. Okay. I'm not familiar with reverse, so I'll need to check the 7 of Wands. I know what that would normally be. 5 of Chalices usually indicates sorrow, loss. Yeah, let me get the reversed 7. But I don't know that this is. Yeah, I don't know that this is speaking to a win so much as a not happening. Exhaustion, doubt, distractions. This is the 7 of Wands. Though the paths you must take may be clear, it will require all your agility and grace to traverse the tiny footholds. Just look one step ahead. If you are taking a leap of faith in less than ideal circumstances, clear your mind of doubt and distractions, and let instinct guide your way. Remember, even if you are adept at navigating a challenging path, you may find luck is not on your side, and you run the risk of plunging into the waters below. Look within and decide. Okay. So it's not saying it's not going to happen, but really it's saying you shouldn't be focusing on that. You should be coming to terms with the situation as it is. Um, and will they reach out in the future? Maybe, maybe not. Um, we just don't really know. But that's focusing too far out, and you need to focus on the here and now. Get that organized and settled and come to terms with that situation. The Empress. And like I said, I treat these like DMs, and this one's not necessarily on the topic of this person. It's more just a message straight for you. So. Nurturing, giving, connection with Earth. The Empress is a subtle ruler. Caught so often in the gray trivialities of our existence, we forget their inherent inauthenticity. The minutiae we build up around ourselves, our jobs, our status, our wealth, none of it is truly vital to our existence. All we need to survive is the bounty already provided to us by Mother Nature. Connect back to it, revel in it, take joy in the most basic pleasure, that of being alive. So, will do. Yes, Cornelia. And I'll go over that. But yeah, hopefully that helps, Kanya Priya. But yeah, maybe not what we wanted, but that's where we need to focus. So. Okay, and then Dr. Priya. Asking about the journey and about your work. and any advice. Okay. So, yeah, I guess there's a bit there. But so we've got Dr. Priya right now. And then Tashona asking. And then I think then it's you, Cornelia. So 3 people, including Dr. Priya right now, just so you guys know. And if you want to, well, get in line, I guess, go ahead and ask your questions. I just go through the chat, trying to do first in, first out. So there's, for Dr. Priya, there's the journey, there's work, and then there's advice. So 3 different aspects. I don't know if we'll need multiple reads. We've been pretty good about getting them all in one. They'll just get separate sections. Question is, what deck are we using? I think we might be using Lost Forest. So. Oh. Come on. There we go. Cosmo probably would have been okay too, but they're acting like equals. So. Okay. Journey, work, advice. Okay. Just we'll get there. Okay. Let's see. Let me keep that out. I think that might be going back in. That one's good. I think it's getting tempered. something here, or are we just going through? I don't know where to find them if I need them. What is your situation? That one. Okay. Is that all our cards? So, I mean, whatever aspect that's speaking to, that's the main one. This has a lighter impact. It's not negligible, but of less import. Tempered pair, so primary modified by the, tempered pair down here. So the top one will get modified somewhat by the one behind it. These are one area, this is one area, this is the other. Let me see if I can figure out which is which before we flip. Journey. Yeah, journey, work, advice. So the world, okay. 2 of earth, and then it's tempered by 3 of earth. So those would normally be pentacles, 2 and 3. Let me shift these a bit. Don't know if we can see still, but yeah. And then in the advice area, we've got Ace of Skies and Strength. Okay. I'll need to double check the pentacles. The world deals with completeness, wholeness. So, I mean, as far as the journey, that it's a good thing. Don't know really how else to put that other than that is definitely a step in the right direction. Let's see, do I have any more detail on that? Yeah, I mean, there might be some rough patches, and that's probably the wrong phrase to use. There might be some rough spots, but all in all, that's going to resolve itself. So that'll get worked out pretty easily. And yeah, like I said, that's sending you the right way. Got our cheat sheet here. I'll double check on those. And then given that's the advice, I'll read those anyways, just to be sure. 2 of earth modified by 3 of earth. So adaptability, prioritization, being on the go. Those are the notes for 2 of earth. For 3 of earth, modifying it, teamwork and collaboration. So yeah. Oh, hey. Yes, go ahead. I'm going to finish Dr. Priya though. So yeah, I don't know what your work situation is like. Yeah, and I hate to use a word that they use, but there's really just going to be some adapting to the new situation, which isn't bad at all. It's going to be a good thing in the end, but it's probably going to feel like a rush. The teamwork and collaboration, I mean, you're going to need others' help for some stuff. You can still do things. You're still good, but yeah, you're going to have to either push back or help delegate to a certain extent. You know your work situation better, so you'll be able to connect those. For the advice, Ace of Skies. Start with that one. Breakthroughs, mental clarity, new ideas. So, I mean, a lot of that's good. It's sort of like trait openness. It's being open to something new, new experience, doing things a different way. So, being open-minded, really. And that's not to say open-minded in that you have to adopt someone else's practice or position on something, but just that the old way it was done doesn't have to be the only way. We can do a new thing. So, and then strength, we'll go ahead and read that. Courage, persuasion, persistence, power. And again, that was a lighter stroke, but yeah. And part of that is you do have the power. So largely for you, it'll be more so the courage and persistence. Persuasion is needed, but courage and persistence seem to be the big ones there. But again, Ace of Skies was the more important one. So, okay, let me know if you have questions, of course. And if you guys need a follow-up for whatever reason, you can reach me on Facebook or whatever platform. Just did Dr. Priya. I believe Cornelia is next. So if you've got your question, go ahead and put it in, I guess. Let me just double check. Yeah. Oh, no. We've got Tashona. Sorry. Let me not forget that. But that'll be fairly quick. Yes, no. So Tashona, then Cornelia. But thank you for the question. And then Mishti. And you can go ahead and put in your question too. Let me go ahead and shuffle these and asking about pregnant. And like I said, I'd still recommend getting something to test that. And I'd be curious if it matches what I give, but do we have a preferred deck? Okay. Yeah, no, we were fine to just use that. Okay. It's just hard to tell sometimes when one deck is out. It feels a bit favored. So the spread I usually do involves 3 cards. We might get something different. But then the combination gives us some idea of yes or no. It'll be easier to find this one first. I think that was the case. I'll double check that afterwards. Let me make sure that's everything. So, I mean, this, let me make sure that is right. Yeah, so this carries information, like the cards themselves still have meaning. It's not just filling in the yes, no. Let's see if any of these do. That one also does. That's just filling it in. So these three are going to give us our yes, no. These ones are still just relevant as cards. So the Emperor, the Faceless, that's unique to this deck. The Chariot, and then up here we've got Nine of Skies. Okay. Good to know. This would normally be a yes. I want to say the Emperor is a yes too. Yeah. And then the Faceless bonus, that would correspond to a yes, as far as the guide that I use. This one I'm going to have to double check on. The Chariot deals with swift movement, stuff coming fast. And then Nine of Skies, that's rough. I mean, let me double check to make sure I get it right, but skies, yep, okay. Fear, anxiety, nightmares. So that's Nine of Skies, and that's modifying the Chariot. So, yeah. Yeah. So moving forward, you're just, how to put that? You're going to have concerns, fears, worries about your ability to go forward. That's really what that summarizes to. Let me check the Faceless. This one's unique to this deck. I need you to open it. There we go. More than meets the eye, sudden opportunities. So, I mean, it's indicating it's not all what it seems to be. So I don't know. Like, if you view being pregnant as a real issue, a problem, this would suggest that's not entirely the case. Not to say that your perspective isn't valid, but this would suggest that there's also the flip side of an opportunity, a different path. So, yeah. I wish I had more advice for you than warnings, but yeah. With this one, really just try to be open-minded, I guess. Look at things from every angle. I don't know what the best way for you to deal with that fear and worry coming about the future. So, if you need help, you can reach out. And I'm sure you've got people around that you can talk with. So, they can probably give you some ideas. Okay. And now Cornelia. Second. So I guess for the second question, is there just going to be some sort of connection? Is that really the gist of that? Whether that's in person or over the phone or something like that? Well, let me shuffle these. We'll start with outcome. And that gets to be Prisma. Okay. Yeah, so this has a little extra information, and then there's filling out the yes, no. Yes, yes. Let me check 8 of Wands, but I think that would also be a yes. Yeah, 7 of Wands is something I need to watch for. But yeah, so all yeses. And then 3 of Chalices speaks to a harmony, a synchronicity. So, and you can connect that. Hey, Jane. How's it going? And then, yeah, we're just going to keep using this deck. Couldn't quite tell if we were going to need 2 different ones, but. For content. Okay. Okay, it looks like we just got 1 card. Yeah, the card itself is meaningful. So, Wheel of Fortune, usually auspicious. This guy tends to downplay that a bit. It focuses more on the cycles. I mean, this would. Yeah. I mean, this would normally be a yes. But yeah, I'll read it. I know you're already familiar with the cards, but just in case. Chance, change, destiny. Constantly vying for power may seem like a futile pursuit, but it is in fact a simple, blessed characteristic of life that it is never at a standstill. The wheel of fortune shows the perpetual shifting in the balance of powers, manifested infinitely within every aspect of your life. At any time, you will be the champion, be the contender, believe you are the champion, or have no reign at all, quickly hurtling yourself into the fray. This card suggests a change is coming. The old king is dead. Someone or something will rise up in its stead. So, okay. All right, so Cornelia, and then Mishti, and then Jane, just so people know. Will do. Okay. No problem. Let me check. We might actually use Prisma, although I would suspect Cosmo a little more. Oh. Yeah, we're using Prisma. And we're wondering when. Okay. That's probably good enough. Let's go find our answer. I think that might be it. I mean, this seems to be the big one. I don't know if this is just... It's clarity of some kind. I don't know if it's... Yeah. I don't know if it's like a smaller unit of time to more finely tune it in, or if it's clarifying in a different way. But yeah, so the big one. Seven of Swords, and then Death. Okay. Oh, and just so you know, Death isn't bad. Yeah, it's not really a win. It's a practice that you need to isolate yourself a bit. I don't know to what extent. Um, that's the hard part. Uh, yeah, and then yeah, really, you're needing some separation from what I'm not sure. Um, hopefully, you can figure that part out. Let me focus on death. See if I can get the details there. I think you've got some assumptions about what you need. And I think they're kind of at odds with what the Seven of Swords is asking for you. So death is requiring you to let those go, revisit them, and realize they're not as necessary as you thought they were. Yeah. I mean, ultimately, you're going to let go of those. I don't know how drastic of a change that's going to be, but you'll have a better idea than me. It was sufficient enough to get the death card, so it's significant. But I don't know if that's more on the eternal scale than immediate here now. So, yeah. They will, and that's where I'm not sure. Like, if you don't isolate yourself somewhat, does that allow it to reinfect? Might not be the best word, but it's essentially to something to that effect. I don't know if your remedy needs more time, um, but it's like a sick person who needs to stay in the hospital going out and playing in a playground or something. Like, sometimes you need more time to finish curing. So that's really the sense I'm getting from the Seven of Swords. I don't know exactly how long that'll be. I'm guessing you'll follow up with someone at some point to make sure you're there if you can't already sense it yourself. Um, but yeah, it'll go. You just need a proper practice to keep yourself safe while you finish. So, does that clarify, Mishti? Any more questions on that? I'm not really getting a sense of danger, but I guess are you asking if are the evil energies dangerous? Just clarify for me for a bit, elaborate a little more to make sure I understand. Because this is about the healing process, so I'm not really getting anything dangerous there. Okay. Um, yeah, let me just do another read to get a sense of how dangerous that is. because I mean, nothing in that really gave me an answer to what you're fighting. So, and let me go ahead and highlight that just in case you need to come back. Okay. And I mean, I frankly don't get a sense of life or death sort of danger. But yeah, we'll get some clarity on that. Yeah, this will be okay. That has a lot to touch though. Let me see if that was everything. Okay, but there's something about that. Okay, that's a lot better. So yeah, that's still light. This will be the heavier one, the more important one, but still very much relevant. And then lighter detail. It's not fine print, so to speak, but it's still on the light side. So, and this is giving us an understanding of the energies. Seven of Chalices, tempered by Queen of Pentacles. Okay. Deals with confusion, being able to see clearly. Wheel of Fortune changes, ups and downs. And then the lighter detail and strength. Okay. Okay. And then okay. Let me double check Queen of Pentacles. That's really the only thing I'm not too certain of, but really it's clouding your judgment in a sense. So it's a good thing you're taking care of it. It's trying to take advantage of you when you're weak. So stick it out, and it probably won't be able to have much impact once you get on your strong side. Queen of Pentacles, I need to double check. This is speaking to how you'll get it stronger after, well, going through this experience. So nothing really to worry about on that, but... So Queen of Pentacles, masterful strength, force of creation, grounded. A wonderful sign. She is the embodiment of natural goodness. She is the earthbound answer to the Empress, hale and warm and ready to provide a safe haven. If you see her crop up in a reading, powerful force for creation. You are grounded in reality, exuding a subtle, masterful strength that can be channeled into any endeavor. Be prepared for everything you touch to blossom under your hand. Yeah, so, I mean, with the Seven of Chalices, it's just, you're not seeing clearly as far as where to direct your energies. You could put it as much towards a good thing as something that will actually harm you. So, yeah, basically we're going to hit the pause button and ride this one out. So that's really what it amounts to. As far as the cycles, I don't really get a sense of large cycles. Let me see if I can get a sense of the time. I mean, roughly 6 weeks, but it's give or take how much. I mean, there's a chance you'll be early. It's less likely than being on the late side. So yeah, as early as 4, maybe as late as 7 weeks, or not 7, 9 weeks. So that's roughly how long you'll... So definitely the 4 weeks at the very least. And maybe that just depends on how well you're isolating and protecting yourself. And I don't know how extreme you need to be on that. So you'll just have to use your own caution. But then, yeah, during that 4 weeks to the 9 weeks mark, you'll just have to use your judgment for when it's finally over. So, yeah. Yeah. Okay. And then, yeah, it's interesting that we got a sense of when there. I don't know, maybe if it was just the range was easier to communicate there. Thanks. And then Jane. Let's go find your question. B. Okay. Okay. Was their post directed towards you? Then how did they feel? Okay. Yeah. Go ahead and... I'm doing Jane's right now. It's on screen. But I can do you next. So if you want to put it into the chat or we can wait. I'll just do it once I'm done with Jane. You can ask me then. Either way. Yeah. I mean, it's good for one and it's good enough for the second, so. So, yeah. Okay. I assume you've got someone or something in mind. I technically don't need the name, as long as you know what you're talking about. Okay. And now for Jane, I'm just wondering if we're going to get them both in one. Or... Okay. But focusing on Jane now. Yeah, okay. I'm not sure what your place is. But you. Yeah, that feels like intention. Yeah, so these are the cards. So we didn't get anything for feelings. We got a card for intentions. That seems the major thing. As far as targeted towards you, this has a light feel to it. So you definitely weren't a focus per se. But yeah, it may or may not have had a secondary goal there. Queen of Pentacles and then the Fool. So yeah, as far as targeting you goes, not really. Yeah, I mean, it's not really aimed at you any more than it's aimed at anybody else. So I wouldn't take that personally. The Queen of Pentacles, Wisdom, Maternal. That's on intention. Let's go ahead, and this is digital, so we can pull that up. Let's go find the Queen. Symbolizes material success and abundance. The Queen is generous and supportive with a strong maternal instinct that is affectionate and wise. When this card appears in a reading, it could indicate that you are entering a moment of embodied health, taking care of your body and healing it. You must stay grounded and connected to your spiritual practice. You are summoning your role as a healer and finding your amazing ability to nurture others as you contribute to your own healing. This card is also one of fertility. This can mean the birth of new projects, a creative venture, children, or finances coming into your life. I'm not really getting any sort of romance as far as those feelings go. So, yeah, Diva, go ahead and ask your question. But finishing with Jane. I mean, there's a certain care going on there. But, okay. gosh, what would be an apt comparison? It's almost more like a playground monitor for the kids. So it's not particularly personal. They want things to be good, better, well for you, but you're not really their focus. So, yeah, yeah. I hope that helps. Let me know if you've got questions on that. Let's go ahead and drop that. We just finished Jane. So, Avi, we're going to do you now, and then Diva. Okay, and that's fine. Just want to make sure I didn't miss anyone. Okay. So December. Okay. No problem. Let's see. You are both relevant, but are you okay? Probably not. Okay. Hey, Oli. How's it going? Is that it? Yeah, there's probably other stuff, but as far as the substantive things go, that seems the bigger one. Not by much, but and it is like, yeah. So this will happen first. That will follow. Yeah. So 8 of Swords. Good to know. 4 of Swords. Okay. Doesn't mean you're done for. 8 of Swords deals with self-imposed limitations, restrictions, issues. I mean, stuff like anxiety, depression. That's the sort of thing. It doesn't necessarily mean we're struggling with mental health here. It could be as simple as you guys having different family traditions or something like that, and that somehow causing a conflict just by being inflexible on what your norm is. So that leads first. What follows is 4 of Swords, and this is rest, recovery. I don't know that I mean, it is a fight in a sense, but this doesn't feel particularly violent, angry, anything like that. It is, but it is solid disagreement. Um, So, just to clarify that, yeah, clarifying the sense on that. Um, and then Four of Swords, that makes sense, just as a natural follow. Um, although it feels a little later in the future. This deals with rest, recovery, taking a break, putting stuff on pause. Um, um, I mean, there's going to be some distance here. Yeah, that's a bit too wiggly because it doesn't feel like it's going to lead to a breakup. Um, but there's definitely that possibility. So I don't know if there's a revisiting at the end, trying for a little bit more or something like that. Yeah. Okay. Well, yeah. I just don't, we don't really have a sense of what the reconciliation, if any, looks like. So, and maybe that's because it's in January. I don't know. But I don't get a strong sense of separation. Not yet, at least. Hope that helps. Hey, everybody. We're having a lot of people pop in all of a sudden. Let me go get Diva's question. She wanted a general. But then, as far as who's next, no problem. Let me keep track. Because we've now got a bunch of people. So Oli will be after Diva. Then Mina hopped in. Then we've got T and Mimi. Okay. No problem, Jane. Glad it helped. Okay. I realize we've got a lot of people right now. I'll do the reading either way with you on or not if you want to just ask the question. I know it can take some time to do readings for people. So we've got the question for Diva. It's up. And then going back, let me see. We've got Oli's question. We've got Mina's question. We've got T. Yeah. So, and then Mimi. I guess, is this YouTube tarot cards really your question? Or that just doesn't seem like something I would read on. So just want to clarify if that's really what you meant. But yeah, so that's the order. Did I finish? Yeah, I got everyone. Okay. So Diva in general. Is that going to be Destiny? Let me see. Okay. That might be one we just more so talk on, because I don't know that. I don't know that makes sense. But we'll get there. Don't worry. Let's see here. Yeah, I think we're leaning into business a little bit today. I think that might be it. Yeah, I get the sense that there's more they want to share, but for some reason they're focusing on these. This is the main thing to be aware of. This is a secondary in nature. I don't know so much if these are informative or actionable, so we'll just find out as we flip. Knight of Wands, and then Four of Chalices. Okay. I'll read Knight of Wands, but that's usually a surge of energy, passion, something to that effect. And then the Four of Chalices deals with a certain amount of disconnectedness. So, Knight of Wands, confidence, surge of energy, passion. May portend a surge in confidence and energy, the fire catching from the spark of the page. But do not depend on the initial fervent swell to see you through to the end. Ultimately, a disciplined strategy will pay greater dividends than a short-lived burst of enthusiasm. Focus on the vision at hand and ask yourself if you are being passionate or merely brash. Hey, Presh. Yeah, I'll add you. So yeah, there's definitely going to be that surge. Whether or not you take advantage of it and turn it into something lasting, that's for you to be aware of and make a change on. Four of Chalices. And again, this was a secondary concern. And I'll see if something else stands out. But overindulgence, loss of excitement, apathy. Life, for all its splendor, will sometimes lose its taste. This is most often a sign of overindulgence. Inundating yourself with some fascination will deaden your senses to its unique charms and flavors. If you find yourself growing apathetic to a steady routine, stir things up within yourself. Resist the urge to settle. Though it may seem like a mighty effort, force yourself to be creative and original. Imbibe of the stream of life. Interesting. So, I mean, gosh, that puts you somewhere in the middle. Because obviously, that surge of passion, energy, they cautioned against just relying on that. But as far as steady routine, that's going to get too monotonous for you. So, you want to make sure something lasts. You can make the most out of that surge. But yeah, as a general rule, you do want to allow some wiggle room for you to mix it up and try something. Because otherwise, you'll be dead on the inside. That is the concern. So, okay. Let's add Presh. I believe Oli is next. Yeah. Okay. Oli. And we're asking about U and H. Okay. Yeah, that's going to be Destiny deck. But it's a yes, no, so we'll see. Just got hey, Jennifer. Yeah. We've got a bit of a wait, but I'll add you to the list, and we'll definitely do it. No problem. Glad I could help. Sorry about that. Let me... Alrighty. Oh shit, forgot to check. Oh no. We've already got you up. Okay. That's right. Okay. Let's see. That might move. We'll see. I mean, it's the combination of the three that's going to give us our yes or no. But it looks like we might have some detail. Okay. And then, yeah, that's just filling out the yes, no. So we've got some extra information on top of that. This is the main thing, and then this will temper it, modify it in some way. So just so you know. 3 of Pentacles. That's normally the Archetype. 5 of Swords. Okay. And then 5 of Wands. Let me double check, because that one Might throw a wrench in things. So I'll go ahead and share the guide I reference. Yeah. So with the Five of Wands, that's an exception. The answer is yes, but you must fight for it. So totally possible, but certainly not guaranteed. Going over this basically overrides the trio. But going over what we've got here, Three of Pentacles, that deals with planning. Think forward thinking, future planning, thinking ahead, really. Don't know how else to put that. But then we've got this modifying it, the Five of Swords. Conflict, upheaval. Let me go ahead and read that. I feel like I get the Five of Wands a lot more. So that's what's springing to mind. But here. Five of Swords represents battle and loss, conflict and contradictions. Perhaps you are unsure whether you must go through with the situation due to misaligned thoughts or ethical dilemmas. As these thoughts persist, you must realize that you must not give up. There are conflicts that must be resolved. Think about what you are fighting for and pick your battles. This card shows up when you must think before you act. Sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is retreat when the battle is over, rather than fighting a war that cannot be won. So, I mean, very much in line with the Architect, the sort of intentional planning and awareness that requires. Let me see if I can get anything particular. Yeah, I mean, really, it's just calling out that there are other forces that are going to interfere, and you're just going to need to deal with them as you can best do it. Some you'll be able to conquer, some that you won't be able to do anything about, and it's really up to you to sort out which is which. So as long as you're ready to put in the effort and deal with that conflict coming up, it says if you fight for it, you'll get it. So hey Laura, yes, I'll add you. We've got a bit of a wait right now. I'm going to try and do everybody. This was my only stream this week, so I feel a little bad if I cut it short. Now let's see. We've got Mina next. All right, we're looking for communication. Okay. And it's really just a yes, no. So you'll probably see something in the same sort of format. Okay, I need to focus. Communication before the end of the month. Okay. And where's our third card? set this down. Okay. So yes, no. This has extra information. If we need to clarify, we can use this card, but I don't think we really need to. So you also got 3 of Pentacles, so that's a yes. The Moon, that would be no. And then what is this? 6 of Wands. That's going to be a yes as well. So the Moon is going to put a damper on this. Give me one sec. Oh, sorry. I can share this. It's a digital guide. But let me get back to that so you can see. So Moon putting a damper on things. So that falls into the 2 yes cards. Means a positive is likely, but may take time to come about. So most likely, not the end of the month, not by end of November, but probably somewhere in December, you're probably going to hear. That's usually what happens with this kind of answer. It's just delayed from the time that they wanted. So the time that you wanted. So yeah, and then Architect, I mean, we've got the notes of success. There's the future planning aspect. We talked about that a lot with the previous one, but yeah. Think about it. Plan what you want to talk about. But I don't know that there's really much more. Because, yeah. Yeah, okay. And then Nina. Yes, go ahead and ask your question. I'll add you to the list. I do need to read for other people first. And right now that's going to be T. So let me go over, well, let me highlight their question and then I'll go over the list as it currently stands. Okay. So we're going to do T now. Following T, we've got Mimi, Presh, Jennifer, Laura, and then Nina. Okay. I might ask for clarity, but I think I know what you're asking there, Nina, just so you know. But T, career read. Yeah, I would normally think this a Prisma question, but it sounds like Destiny's just going to take this. Okay. Okay. Yeah, it's leading into it. Not exactly. I can only put that so far off. Gosh. Not the best surface for sliding cards, but okay. Just quick check. Okay, and then is the order here? No, that's right. Yeah. And then that'll be fine. Look at that. So these are speaking to here and now. Bit more actionable. This is the more important one. It's tempered. This modifies in some way. This speaks to a longer term outcome. And this leads into this one. I don't know how far off, but this feels more like years. So just so you know. 3 of Wands, tempered by Queen of Wands. Let me slide that out. Give us a little more room. And then over here, 7 of Swords. Not fun. And then farther out, we've got the World. And then 2 of Pentacles. Okay. We'll do this since it's simpler and further out. The World, completion, fulfillment. You've reached that milestone, that goal, whatever that is. I don't know that we even know what that is now, but you get to that point, a certain level of accomplishment. 2 of Pentacles is dealing with decisions and keeping things going, in a sense. So, I mean, for example, if you started a company, got to the point of success and whatnot, this is speaking twofold to keeping that operation running smoothly, but also whether or not you're going to sell your company, cash out, or continue doing it. Because I know you may love it during this part, but at this point, you might be ready to move on to the next thing. So that's just an example. Yeah, enough on that. This is the secondary thing you need to worry about here, and it's more straightforward. 7 of Swords deals with betrayal, dishonesty, getting stabbed in the back. So that's going to happen. It's not going to be pleasant or enjoyable. At the end of the day, you're going to survive and get out of there. That's really what that amounts to. Not really a nice way to cushion that. So let me pull up the 3 of Wands and the Queen of Wands. These are the bigger ones and the ones that you can focus on, do something about. Start with the 3 of Wands. This is the main thing, since this is a tempered pair. And then we'll go get the Queen of Wands for what her modification is. 3 of Wands represents expansion, arising from a passionate heart. This card is a good fortune card, which reveals that your projects and relationships will thrive. You are about to embark upon an intense period of activity, where you may be inundated with messages and communications from others. This is a time of great self-expression. The 3 of Wands is also a card of travel and embarking on a new venture. This card invites you to expand your horizons and open to something new and unexpected in your work, your relationships, and your projects. Individuality is highly favored. Do not be afraid to be the unique person you are. I'm pretty sure you can connect the dots there. So we'll move on and see what the Queen is doing to this card. There we go. A mother archetype. This may be someone who is in your life who can be an artisan, an entrepreneur, counselor, or leader. She is intensely loyal and in touch with her intuition. This card can appear as an influence. It is a moment where your ideas are flourishing. Stay confident and close to your spiritual practice, because now is a moment that your magic and passionate vision will be brought to the forefront. Nurture your dreams and give them birth. The universe is supporting you. Really, that speaks to someone helping you as far as that Three of Wands goes. And I would just clarify that that's not necessarily a female. This could be a male person who is that support in a sense. But they're playing a rather maternal role in helping you, cultivating, guiding you towards success. So yeah. So very positive here. Be open to that and looking. I'm sorry you have to deal with the Seven of Swords, but like I said, at the end of the day, you survive. It's going to be rough, though. Okay. Next is Mimi. So, to clarify your question, I assume you're asking about another, or well, let me highlight it first so people know what we're talking about. I assume you're asking about a reading that you got and whether or not it's valid, true. Correct? Just want to make sure I'm understanding what you're really asking. Because, I mean, you can see that I use Restream. I know you're watching this from, sorry about that, watching this from Twitch, but I do stream to YouTube. You can see like Mina is watching from there. So if the way you phrase your question is asking whether YouTube cards in general work, in which case I may or may not qualify, I guess. So that's where I just want to clarify what you're really asking. Because I can check someone else, but if you're asking about the set of YouTube tarot readers, I'm also in there, so you might want to ask somebody else if you're suspicious of them. And we may have had Mimi bounce. Or maybe I'm just talking faster than they can write. Could be multiple things. Yeah, I just want to make sure we're answering the right question. So, Mimi, if you hop on, catch us, give me the clarity. Otherwise, I know Facebook, they can message me. I don't know if Twitch has a messaging system in it or anything like that, but you can reach out to me for clarity and we'll just do it offline when we have time. So, of course, if you hop on, just comment and we can do it. But now we'll do Presh. And then I'll go over the list real quick. Okay. So we'll do Presh now, and then we've got Jennifer, Laura, Nina afterwards. And I think we'll call it there because we are running a little late. Yeah, Cosmo. Did we get it? Yeah, okay. Just want to make sure we have all the cards. I feel like a cat. It's a lighter one, and I'm not sure it's got a strong feel, so we might just pull that back in. Pull that out, I guess. I guess first. Okay. First, second, this is the 1, 2. I don't know if these are action items per se, though. So we are going to flip this, but this isn't something you should worry about now. Just so you know. That's the sense I get from this. This is not an action item for you. It's a lighter feel. It might be down the road a ways. I don't know. But this isn't something to worry about. Just know about. 3 of trees, 2 of birds, Ace of birds. So normally 3 of pentacles, 2 of swords, and Ace of swords. So this would correspond to what we saw previously, the architect planning. Wrong side. I don't think I've gotten the 3 of trees in this deck, so I'm going to check to see if anything stands out. because I do believe the nuance of the decks matters. Hard work, determination, willingness to grow. When this card shows up, it is a sign of your strong determination and willingness to grow. This is a sign to keep going. Your work is not done yet, but you are surely heading in the right direction. So yeah, others would focus on planning, being explicit about the future and whatnot. This one is more focused on having your head in the right direction, looking the right way. That you're going down that route. So I don't know if that's hard for you right now, but yeah, willingness to grow seems to be the focus for this one. Two of birds. And this is the second one in the 1-2. Mindless, wasted energy, unfocused. When this card shows up, it asks you to assess the things you have been spending your time on. Is it the best use of your energy? Mindlessly performing tasks just to get them done will result in a mediocre outcome. Rather than trying to shoulder too many tasks, make a plan to focus your attention on one thing at a time. Outline what your future goals are and decide what is most important for now. So, together we're getting basically the 3 of Pentacles from the other deck. But first, it's having your heart in the right place, your mind in the right place, and then trying to tackle the future, prioritizing, and really focusing on what's important. Ace of Birds. Not something to worry about or do about. Breakthrough, clarity, sharp mind. You have climbed to the peak of Wise Mountain, and as you gaze into the valley below, an instantaneous lucidity washes over you. This is a powerful card to pull in a reading. It is the ace of the mind and symbolizes a great breakthrough in honing mental clarity. If it hasn't happened yet, this breakthrough is soon to come. Wise Mountain asks only for your patience and trust, and the truth will guide you. And again, farther off, not something you need to do something about. That will come. So if anything, this is slowing down, making sure your spirit, heart, and mind are in the right place, and then actually putting in the work. So I wouldn't rush to get to this part. It's definitely 1-2. So take as much time as you need. We don't need to rush this at all. So hope that helps. Next, we've got Jennifer. Okay. So generally, that's going to be good enough. Yikes. Okay. And let's just, I guess they keep it nowadays. Used to be able to clean out the chat in a sense. Is that also Cosmo? Okay. Makes sense. I do feel like this deck tends to get the general readings, angel messages, stuff like that. But it's not like they've got a monopoly, so. Okay. And this is for Jennifer. Do we find everything right now? Usually have to do a little searching. Let's get that a little there. Okay. Don't know how else to describe it other than it's a branch of the paths that you could go down. So this is something you can easily get to from either of those outcomes. I don't know what's down here. And obviously this would extend farther, but we're only looking so far ahead. Is this? This seems to be present tense. So yeah, and that's going to be everything. So 8 of Lotuses. So normally 8 of Cups. The Mystic. I want to say that's the Queen of Embers. Or sorry, the Queen of Wands. Down here, 4 of Lotuses. 4 of Cups. Past lives. I want to say this is usually death, but I'll double check that. And then Sleeping Ships. That's unique to this deck, which is why there's a, oh, you can't see that, but there's a question mark, not a number, even though it counts as major arcana. We've got a lot. I'll just try to go fast, but Cosmo likes to be special, so I'll double check the guides, see if anything stands out. 8 of Lotuses. Walking away, disillusionment, leaving behind. You're passing on something. You see it, you're aware of it, you understand it, you realize it's not worth it. And this shouldn't be a surprise. This, if you don't know what it is, don't be looking for it. I'm sure it'll just manifest itself. But there's probably something that you're already growing weary of, tired of, done with, basically. And that's what the 8 of Lotuses is speaking to. Branching out. Let's do the Mystic first. Four of Lotuses is closer, but what can I say? Let's see. Yeah, so Queen of Wands. Courage, determination, wisdom. Shows up when you have acquired certain knowledge that needs to be shared. It may require courage and determination to speak your voice, but your views on the situation are crucial to a group understanding. That's the gist of that. It's not necessarily leading, but you need to be confident enough to share what's important. And that's what you think is important. The group might not view it that way. You might not think the group views it that way. But they need to hear it. So that's one route. The other route is Four of Lotuses. Apathy, contemplation, disconnectedness. And really, apathy and disconnectedness are the main things there. Yeah. Disconnectedness. That's the big thing, which sort of makes sense. We'll go ahead and do Sleeping Ships, and then we'll do Past Lives. Rest, inspiration, growth. And this is inspiration in, I guess I wouldn't say unusual, but not where you're expecting it. And it's not something you're working on. It's not like you're mining for a gem or something like that. It's something that occurs organically, naturally. So it's more of a passive thing you experience rather than something you would actively, try to make happen. And then Past Lives. So yeah, normally death. Expansion, spirituality, awareness. Your fears, your dreams, your wants, and desires. Your past lives are entangled in each choice you make and the things that make you who you are. You have pulled this card to draw awareness to this. You are constantly expanding. New cycles are beginning and ending all the time. Take this spiritual lesson and let it shift you into the effervescent soul you wish to be. So, self-awareness would probably be the best way to describe that. So, yeah. And again, don't know what this route would hold. But yeah. Okay. If you have questions, go ahead and reach out to me. But yeah. Let me finish up because I am running a little over. And I'll need to shuffle that. But let's first find... we've got Laura and then Nina. General reading. Okay. No problem. Hopefully it helps. Okay. And yeah, we're going to stick with Cosma. Okay. first thing, second thing. There's definitely more, but this is where we need to start. Peacock and the Entertainer. Okay. Peacock deals with straddling two worlds, things that wouldn't normally be connected. You act as the bridge, either combining or facilitating between the two. This would normally be the Empress, if I remember right, but Cosma focuses on a bridge, is really the thing that gets communicated with the Peacock. I'll double check. Yeah, fusion of opposites is the way they describe it. But yeah. You bridge two unlikely things. And that's the main thing. Follow up with the Entertainer. There we go. So this would normally be the Knight of Pentacles. Skillful, amusing, pleasing. A conundrum of a character. He has acquired an audience from his notable skills and successes, but has grown too dependent on these tricks to imbue meaning into his life. He measures value based on what there is to gain, rather than the inherent beauty. In a reading, the entertainer can be good when inquiring on fame and success, but in emotional or spiritual arenas, the entertainer is a fraud. When it comes to matters of the heart, they can freeze up. So, yeah, and really I could see that applying to either or both areas. Success in more material things or freezing up in spiritual, emotional ones. I think there's some leeway with how that plays out. So, yeah. Yeah, I mean, you'll know better what's more likely, and if you need to ward or prepare for it, but yeah. And now, Mina. So, Mina, just to make sure I understand, are we asking if Nabila and Sabri are going to get back together? I'm pretty sure that's what you meant, but just want to make sure I'm getting it right. Okay. Mina might have bounced, but pretty sure that's what it is, so I think that's fine. Maybe I'll still need to clarify, but um, yeah. Let me double check that one. Down here somewhere. Anything else? I think that's it. Okay, so the combination is going to give us yes, no. This has extra information, and then this one has some lighter detail. That's the best way to describe that. So the Magician, that would be a yes. Five of Wands, that's going to be an exception. And then Page of Swords, that would actually be a yes, despite how scary it sounds. But let me double check, because I think the Five of Wands is going to override here. It would be yes, but must fight for it. Am I sharing my screen? Oh, let me. So, oh, and you can't even see it then. But down in the right corner under the exceptions list, Five of Wands says, yes, but you must fight for it. Where you're asking about other people, they would have to fight for it. Magician indicates a power. It's they call it a manifester. Sometimes you're able to make things occur. You have the resources and the potential to catalyze and act as the catalyst to transform it into something more. So they do have the capability. Five of Wands speaks to competition, debates, conflict, butting heads, that sort of thing. So even though they have the power, there just might not be enough harmony to actually bring that about. Again, this was the heavy one. So they do, in fact, have that capability. As far as actually realizing it, well, I would lean towards no. Most people don't work through hardships, but maybe they're the exception. We'll see. That's really the if they fight for it. So, okay. Hopefully that helps. Mimi, if you're watching, just go ahead and reach out if you can clarify that. Thanks for joining. It's fun doing readings for you guys. Glad we got to do a bunch today. Sorry this was our only stream this week. As well, normally this is the schedule, Wednesdays and Fridays. We try to do them at opposite times to accommodate people. But yeah, glad you could come and spend some time with us. If you want, this should be in the description, but it's a link to our social media, our streaming, PayPal if you want to donate. And yeah, hope you're doing well, enjoying the week, getting ready for a great weekend, and until next time, take care.